Okay, so this is a video on blogging, how to do a blog post. And for blogging, we're always going to be using the posts. So let's take a look. Let's do the first post. So we're going to go in here and click on Add New. And that's going to bring up a brand new post. Okay, so the first thing we have to deal with is a title for the post. And this will be my first post, okay? And then once you finish adding your title, you're going to click down here into the box. Okay, and this is the box where you're going to be blogging. You're going to be writing your article. Okay, now here we're going to change the permalink, okay? First of all, let me just, I'm going to, this is just the settings, so pay no attention here. Okay, so let's go back to the post. Let's go back and see if it saved it as a draft. Yeah, it did. Okay. So let's go back in here to the draft by clicking on Edit. Okay, so this was not set up. That's why it clicked off into another area, because this is just a dummy site I'm using for the video. So if you want to change, like let's say after you were writing for a while, you decided to change this to my first blog. My first blog post. And you look here and you think, oh, it only says my first post. If you click on Edit, you can click in here and change it, my first blog post, okay? And then if you click out, it'll accept it. Click OK, and then it'll accept that. Okay, so down here in the blogging area, let's say you're going to write an article about how easy it is to blog, okay? And then I have some lorem ipsum on my clipboard, so I'll just come down here and I'll create a couple of different paragraphs. Now for WordPress, once you leave a line between two areas like this, it's going to automatically recognize this as paragraphs. So here's two paragraphs that we have. Now along here is all of the styling that you can do. And normally it defaults to only one line across. But if you lean on this guy here, toolbar toggle, and you click it, it will open up some more styling that you can do. Now, if you're familiar at all with Microsoft Word, this is all pretty much the same, you know, centering, align left, align right, the text. But there's just a few that I want to go over. Now, in this WordPress website, and in pretty much most of the ones that I build, it's set up so that you can do your own search engine optimization. And we're going to go into some of that in this video as well. So the search engines, as of this taping, are always looking for hierarchy in pages. So this title up here, my first blog post, that's going to read as an H1 headline. So down here, I'm going to highlight this and then click in this paragraph box and then select heading 2. And that's going to alert the search engines that there's the beginning of a hierarchy. So let's say down here you had a list of some things here. So let's say you had 1 and you had 2, and then actually I think we should just do, let's click a bulleted list. So we'll click on this, and this will be 1 and then 2, 3, 4, 5. So the search engines look for, this is another thing that they look for, is sort of a brief outline of information or brief outline of features. So anytime you have a list, rather than just run them on in one sentence, try to set them up into a bulleted list, because the search engines like that a lot more. And I'm going to go into how to add a picture into your blog. So you click your mouse and put the cursor right where you want the picture to appear. And then you come up here where it says add media, and this is going to go right into your library. So in the library, let's pick a picture here, okay? And we're going to insert this into the post. Now, it's a good idea for search engine optimization to always fill in your title, your alt text, and your description with as many keywords as you can. Now, this dummy site is being set up as a hair salon, so we're going to put in braiding hairstyles. Okay, and then I'm going to click Control A and Control C to copy it, and then I'm going to put the same thing in the 3 boxes and then insert into the post. Okay, now it's going to default to be on its own line. Okay, so you want the text to wrap around it so it looks a little better. So we're going to click on it, and it's going to bring up this small little menu here. So I'm going to align this left, and once I click on this, the text is going to immediately wrap around the picture. Okay, and then that looks much better. Okay, so now we have a picture in here, and we have a bulleted list. So down here, there's a plugin called SEO by Yoast. And this is set up so that you're continually always working on your search engine optimization. So the first thing you're going to do is have your focus keyword. And in this particular instance, it's my first blog post. So that's all you're going to put in this one. Then in your SEO title, you're going to put my first blog post. And then you might want to put my website name.com. Okay, and then in your meta description you're going to put a brief description, and if you look down here you have 156 characters to use because that's what the search engines are looking for. They're looking for something along this line. Okay, so this is a great article about braiding hairstyles. You will be amazed at how easy it is. Be sure to check my other articles. Hair braiding is great for weddings. Okay, so I went a little over, but 8 over, that's okay. All right, so we filled in that box. And what this means before we move on is that anybody who is keyword searching braiding for weddings, okay, this might come up because it has weddings and braiding in it. Okay, anybody looking for hair braiding, hairstyles, this is all going to come up in the search engines, and that's what you want. So that's what we finished here on the left side of the page. So going up to the front of the page, to the right hand side here under this box where it says publish. Let's say we're blogging here and you get interrupted, you have to go to work or whatever. Instead of publishing, you can save it as a draft. Okay, and that means that it'll be available when you want to come back and work on it again. And then this just gives you a status, whether it's a draft, pending review, or whatever. Pending review, that's if that comes in handy when you are working with more than one person on a website. Okay, visibility. Okay, so most blog posts default to be visible to the public. Okay, but if you want to have, say, a private page that you just keep some information on, you keep your passcodes on, you don't want anybody else to see it, you can click private. And if you want to create one that's password protected, you would choose this selection. Okay, and if for some reason you would want to stick this post to the front page, you can select this also. Okay, so those are your choices there. So we have ours saved as a draft right now. Now say you have a goal where you want to blog at least 5 to 7 times a week, which is recommended, by the way, in order to get the best jump on search engine optimization. And let's say you don't have time every day, but you want to like write 5 brief articles on a Sunday afternoon. You can write them all and then click here where it says publish immediately, and you can choose another date. Let's say you want to choose the 22nd of January, and then you want it to publish at 6 o'clock in the morning. Okay, you fill in the boxes and then you click OK. And that is now, this changes from post or publish, it changes to schedule. Okay, and then it would be scheduled. Okay, now this here is reading our SEO. We're going to come back to that in a minute. This is format. It always defaults to standard, aside, and image, link. These are a little bit more advanced. You wouldn't really need those, so just pretty much you're always going to be using standard. Okay, now category. This is after you get going blogging. Certain of your articles are going to start fitting into categories. And let's say somebody was interested in braiding. Okay, so we're going to add a new category, because the uncategorized means that if somebody looked at an uncategorized view of your blog, what they would get is a diary view. They just get everything you blogged, every day you blogged it, and they would be able to read one to the next to the next. But to add a new category, we're going to add one that says braiding. Okay. All right, and then let's see. Okay, so that added a new category of braiding. Okay, and so let's see. And then if you want to, let's say you wanted to have a general category of braiding, and then you wanted to have a subcategory. So you would click add new category, and then you would have, like, say, French braiding, because that's a certain type of braiding. Okay, and then you wouldn't want that to stand by itself. You would want it to be under the category of braiding, so you would pick here for braiding to be the parent category. Okay, and then you would add that one. Okay, and you see that one would jump underneath here. All right, and that's how creating your categories works. So down here for your tags, this is where you're going to put all of your keywords. So you think about all of the keywords that this particular article is about. So we're going to say it's blogging for beginners, comma, okay, and then we're going to put how easy it is to blog, and then we're going to put braiding, hair braiding, braid hairstyles, and French braids. Okay, and then we're going to add those. Okay, and that's going to also be telling the search engines that's what this particular article is about. And do yourself a favor, don't start putting in all kinds of keywords that just to put them in here, because the search engines are all set up to spot those types of things, and then now they'll just kick you out of the search engine. So you don't want to do that. If you want to get a lot of keywords, then write a longer article. Okay, and then once you have a lot of keywords, you'll be able to click here, and then they'll give you a list. Like right now, it says no tags found, because this is just a dummy site that I'm using to make this video. In any event, there are some themes in WordPress that use featured images, and the next gen featured image, that's something else that has nothing to do with this particular website and most of the websites that I build, so you can just ignore that. Okay, so once everything is all set up, we're going to check here, and it's going to read all of the article and the keywords, and it's going to give you some hints like the first one here is the article only contains 185 words, and the search engines look for articles with 300 words. So if you read through all of these, they're going to give you good tips on how to be a better blogger for the purposes of getting more bang for your SEO dollar. So you can read those and sort of educate yourself as to how to write better blogs. So at this point, we're ready to publish the blog. So what we'll do here is click on edit, and then we're going to put today's date, which is the 20th. And I'm not sure, let's see, it's 101. So we'll just put 112. Actually, I think this is 1312. Let's see if this works. Yeah, I think that worked. Okay, yeah, that's published now. Okay, so once it's published, then you can click up here where it says view post. There's another one here, view post. Either one will work. And you view the post, and then it'll show you, here's what your blog is going to look like. Okay, and this here has the commenting on, so if people are reading it and they want to leave a comment, they can leave a comment and post it. Okay, usually I have that turned off, so if yours doesn't have the comments, pay no attention to that. Okay, and then here are the pages, and we're going to go into that next. So that's pretty much it. Now let's say you were, let's say you want to go in and change it, or you want to add something to your blog post. You go into where it says all posts, okay, and then you lean on the post, and then you click on where it says edit. Okay, and that'll take you right back in. And then let's say, because this article was so short, maybe you wanted to, you know, add another picture and another couple of paragraphs to get up to the 300 word suggestion, then you could do that. And then once you make changes here, you can come over here and click update. And that will update the post. Okay. Now, also here there's a category called category. All right, so we're going to click on that. Okay, and these are your categories. Now let's say you're just starting off and you already know that you're going to be blogging about 5 or 6 different categories. Instead of waiting and doing them as you're blogging, you can come in here and you can create them all on one day. You can just, you know, put in all of your categories and then click add new category, and then it'll add your categories, and they'll be there when you go to blog. Okay, and the same thing with tags. If you have a list of keywords and you want to put them all in on the, you know, in the beginning when you have them with you, you can do that here. You can add one tag after another, and then when you're blogging, you can click on where it says frequently used tags, or whatever, however it's phrased, and then all of these tags will come up and you can choose from them. So that's pretty much it regarding blogging. And then the way the blog works is every day that you post a blog, your website will be refreshed and new, because it's going to have new content on it. So anyone who comes to your website and clicks on the blog, then they're going to see what you have you blogged about today. It's going to be on your front page. But then when the next blog comes along, this one is going to go into the archives. And one of the ways people can access it is by clicking on braiding. And then what this is going to do is it's going to pull all of your posts about braiding. Somebody clicks on French braiding, it's going to pull all of the posts about French braiding. And for many people who know that uncategorized means diary view, they're going, if they click on this, they'll just see everything that you've blogged about since the beginning. Okay, and then over here is an area where You can have a coupon for your business, or you can have, you know, a picture or whatever. This is a sidebar, and that'll probably be set up when I do your website. Your sidebars will be set up for you. So that's pretty much it about how to blog.